This is FYI on your TV, brought to you by Hometown News. I'm Kathy Botham. I've got my good friend Johnny Five. I always say DJ Johnny Five. People most know you by, but
they think that's my last name.
Yeah, really? Yes,
yeah.
Johnny Vandusen.
Correct.
Yes.
Proud Vandusen, a lot of heritage in Smith Falls.
Yeah, absolutely,
sure.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. You've
Thanks
got
for
some
having
dances coming up. We want to talk a little bit about that, but let's talk about you a little bit. Busy. You are helping the community all the time.
Oh, thank you. Yes, lots of stuff going on. There's a lot of need this year, and certainly happy to help out where I can. I'd like to take a quick second just to thank my boss, Jim Ginn from AWD Contractors, for always allowing me the free time to do this stuff. So thanks, Jim.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. It's always nice to work with an employer like that.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But I see you at events all the time. And sometimes when people think of DJ, you just think a party or a wedding sort of thing.
Sure.
You are at all our community events.
Yeah,
and,
sound systems. I do a lot of sound systems. I have a lot of equipment, and I have continued to gather. I have, I don't even want to say on air what I have, but I have a lot of stuff.
And Santa was good to you this year.
Santa was very good to me this year. Almost time to celebrate my 31st year in business. I had been trying to purchase new speakers for my 30th anniversary. They just were not available in Canada. And in fact, I finally broke down and I had to go to the manufacturer and see who in the States would even sell them to me. And so they hooked me up. There was one company that would sell them to me to come over. I don't know what the deal is, why that is, but they are just really hard to get their hands on, and I have 6
You got
now.
them. Oh, wow.
I have 6 of them,
You got
2,000 watts each. So.
Now, did you know 31 years ago that this is what it would end up being?
No,
like,
you remember how I started? I was
line dancing.
I was line dancing, and actually the Cancer Society approached me. This is the truth. This is how I became a DJ. If there's any little guys out there, girls want to start DJing, keep your eyes open, because anything can just cross your path.
Absolutely.
Be ready to take a risk. So 31-ish years ago, the Cancer Society in Smith Falls came to me and said, would you DJ a benefit dance for us over at, I think it was going to be at Smith Falls Golf Course. And not to be confused with the first job I did. First job I was booked for was Cancer Society. And I said, well, I'm not a DJ. And they said, well, you have a big stereo. And I said, well, I teach country dancing. I was line dancing and two-step and stuff. I said, well, I teach country dancing. All my music's country. And they said, well, if you'll do this job for us for free, we'll make it a country theme. And that was how I did that was my first booking. As I just explained not too long ago off air, my first DJ job I actually did was a birthday party for Ken Street, Royden Street's dad, and a family friend, and actually almost related to me through marriage. And so that was the very first DJ job I did. But the first one I booked was for the Cancer Society. And you know, I offered then to give up some of my time and learn a new skill. And look, 31 years later, I'm still doing it, and I'm absolutely love what I do. Yeah.
Well, we love what you do too. So
Thank
you're
you.
here to talk about a couple of events that are coming up as well too, that you're helping at too. So let's talk about the Crime Stopper one on January 25th.
January 25th, I'll be at the Smith Falls Legion helping out Crime Stoppers. Those guys and I work together every November for Remembrance Day celebrations at the Cenotaph. They were nice enough to kind of let me edge in because I have so much of equipment. So Lyle and I forget the other fellow's name, great guys to visit with, and I appreciate what they do for our community too. I see all kinds of stuff online, what they're working at. So I think it's important.
January is Crime Stopper month too, so good for you for helping out.
Yeah, so I did it last year. This is my second year doing it. I'm happy to do it, and it's a fun night. Come on out. It's pretty inexpensive. This year is 60s theme, so that's fun. And like I said, it's at the Smith Falls Legion. The big rockin' stereo there. Yeah. It's the first time I'll be able to use all 6 of my new speakers at the same time, so I'm pretty stoked about that. I'll bring some lights and we'll have a good time.
Yeah,
bring your Bobby socks. Yeah.
Yes, really.
I wasn't around the 60s, so I'll have to look it up online. Maybe there's a Google you could do for that.
I was wearing baby clothes.
Yeah. Gotta find out what I should wear. But I'm a pretty accomplished swing and swing dancer and stuff, so hopefully somebody will jive with me or do something out there. So,
there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this next event that we're going to talk about too, this is a benefit dance for a young lad, 13 years old.
Yeah, 13-year-old, stage 2. Unfortunately, I have to look up the words because he's got stage 2 Hodgkin's lymphoma. So it's a benefit dance for Ronnie, and that's going to be over at the Smith Falls Civitan. And tickets there are, I think it's $15 each or $24 for 2 tickets. Tickets available at the door. And if that's not right, I'm sure I have a friend, Kirsten, who hooked me up with this dance. I'm sure she'll let me know. Yeah, for sure. That's
February 21st.
Yeah, February 21st is a Friday. And there's going to be 50-50 draws and all kinds of different games and draws to help raise money. But sure would love to see people out for that. It's going to be a fun night. I'm going to be happy to play your requests.
Yeah.
And same thing, I'll have a big pound and stereo there too, and lots of lights, and we'll have a good time raising funds for a very worthy cause.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. A young lad from town here, 13 years old.
13.
Ronnie's going through cancer treatments right now too. Yeah. So we want to help out the family, and that's what you're doing that night too.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I'm happy to volunteer my time and see what we can do to help out.
It's a good old Civitan dance.
Yeah, that's right.
A lot of dances at the Civitan.
Well, yeah, and that's actually the first place I did line dancing was at the Civitan. Uncle Dave hooked me up there. Dave Splain was the member there that set me up, came to me and said, would you be interested in renting our hall to do line dancing? And I was like, sure. I started with cassettes, Kathy.
Oh, wow. Yes,
it was a rough start.
Yeah.
It was a rough start. I had to have somebody to cue up the songs and play them for me. My cousin Chris. Thank you, Chris. Huh? And I, as quickly as I could, I moved from that into CDs and bought my own stereo and big speakers and all that, and then became the life of lugging equipment around, and that's what I've been doing for 31 years. Yeah.
Oh, mixtapes on a cassette. Remember that, eh?
Brutal. Yeah.
But I can imagine if somebody wanted to listen to a song and it was like the third or fourth one in, it's like.
The only thing worse than that was growing up with 8 tracks, because I'm a 70s baby myself, and so my favorite song back in the day was Rhinestone Cowboy by Glenn Campbell.
Yes.
Well, they pretty well were. I forget exactly now. It's like what do they call them, tracks? Or it was like track 3, but you had to listen to one other song to get to that song. It was like,
yeah. Mine was Benny and the Jets, and it was on the record, and I swear you could see through it. Because I just played it over and over and over again.
Yep. Yeah.
Getting thin.
Good times. Music. Right. I love music.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we know that about you.
Yes. I never stop, actually. I do a lot of, if anybody knows what I do for a living, I'm on the road a lot with construction jobs and stuff. And I pay for Sirius Satellite in my work truck, and so that I can listen to the different genres. So of course, right now I'm hammering out as much 80s as I can and building the list. When I hear something that makes my foot tap, it's going on the list.
There you go. There you go. That's a good way to measure it.
Yeah, it works good.
Yeah. Or if you start driving faster.
Yeah. That's why I got cruise locked on.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thanks for joining us today.
You've
got 2 great events coming up again. Once again, the Crime Stoppers dance, January 25th, and that's going to be at the Legion.
Yep.
And we've got a benefit dance February 21st. It's for a young lad, Ronnie, 13 years old, going through cancer treatment. This is all going to help him and his family out.
That's it.
Tickets are only $15 or 2 for $24, and that's at the Civitan.
We sure love to see you out for those.
Excellent. Thanks, Johnny.
Thanks for having me, Kathy.